acute contagious viral infection that is transmitted through the respiratory system. It is also known as German measles or 3-day measles. In most cases, it is a very mild illness. Rubella is caused by the Rubella virus, which is in the Togaviridae family. Rubella virus is the only member of the genus Rubivirus. Rubivirus has a genome on a single-stranded RNA with spike-like projections that contain hemagglutinin. Rubivirus is enclosed by an icosahedral capsid. Rubella is transmitted by airborne droplets, so if an infected person sneezes or coughs, the rubella virus can be transmitted to those around them. The rubella virus multiplies in the cells of the respiratory system and then it is spread to target organs. Rubella is most common in children and young adults and it is a very mild illness. But if a pregnant woman contracts rubella during her pregnancy, her baby could really suffer. If a child contracts rubella, they may experience these symptoms: a rash that starts on the face and spreads to the rest of the body, and a low fever of below 101 degrees. These symptoms may last for 2 to 3 days. Older children and young adults may experience the same symptoms plus swollen glands and the symptoms of a cold before they notice the rash. Aching joints can also be associated with rubella, especially in young women. Although there are symptoms associated with rubella, about half the people who get rubella do not have any symptoms. Like I said earlier, rubella is usually a mild illness, but if a pregnant woman gets rubella, it becomes very serious for her unborn child. Women who contract rubella while pregnant have a 90% chance of passing it to her fetus if it's contracted early in pregnancy. The virus can cause stillbirths, miscarriage, and severe birth defects. The unborn child could suffer from all kinds of birth defects including cataracts, deafness, mental retardation, and heart defects. This is known as congenital rubella syndrome. Infants who are born with CRS can excrete the virus for a year or more. Infants with CRS can also suffer from lifelong disabilities like autism and thyroid problems. The highest risk of infants born with CRS is in countries where women who can get pregnant are not immune to the disease, meaning they do not have the vaccination or have not had the disease to be immune to it. Before the vaccination was introduced, around 4 babies in every 1,000 births were born with CRS. As of now, there is no specific treatment for rubella, but there is a vaccination that can prevent it. The rubella vaccination has been in use for over 40 years and is very effective. One single dose of the rubella vaccine gives more than 95% lasting immunity, and that is similar to the immunity you get by natural infection. The rubella vaccine that is used to prevent rubella is a live attenuated strain and it is available in monovalent formulation or it can be combined with other vaccines. Monovalent formulation means it is directed at only one pathogen. It can be combined with vaccines against measles, measles and mumps, or measles, mumps, and varicella. It is recommended that children receive 2 doses of the MMR vaccine, one between 12 to 15 months of age and the second 4 to 6 years of age. Adults do not have to get the MMR vaccine, but it is recommended for college students, healthcare workers, people who travel internationally, and women who are able to get pregnant. The rubella vaccine prepares the body to fight rubella without actually exposing the body to the symptoms. The vaccine usually gives lifetime immunity against rubella, and so does contracting the disease once. If a person gets rubella, fights it off, and becomes immune to it, this is called naturally acquired active immunity. In the United States of America, there have been no reported cases of rubella since 2009. The rubella vaccination has pretty much eliminated rubella and congenital rubella syndrome in many places in the world, including Canada, South America, and the United States. Rubella and CRS are still fairly common in some places like Southeast Asia and certain regions in Africa. The reason there are still a good bit of new cases every year in these regions is due to lack of proper prevention. The rubella vaccination has either not been introduced or is not available. Congenital rubella syndrome is high risk in these places because women who are of age to carry a child are not immune to the disease. So as a summary, rubella is a viral infection that is easily transmitted and usually affects children and young adults. Rubella is caused by rubivirus, which is a member of the Togaviridae family and is generally a mild illness. Once the rubella virus enters the body through airborne droplets, it multiplies in the cells of the respiratory tract and makes its way to target organs. Although most cases are very mild, it can be really harmful to a fetus if the mother contracts rubella while she is pregnant. When the infant is born, he or she could suffer from some severe birth defects, and this is known as congenital rubella syndrome. Some of the birth defects that are common are cataracts, hearing impairments, and mental retardation. CRS can also be associated with lifelong disabilities like autism and thyroid issues. The symptoms associated with rubella include fever, rash, swollen glands, and sometimes even achy joints, but they differ depending on the age of the person. Luckily, the rubella vaccination has pretty much eliminated the spread of rubella, but it is still common in some places. Rubella is really only common in undeveloped countries due to lack of proper prevention, which is mainly vaccination.